Hey Level Up Lifers, welcome back to the channel where we smash outdated ideas like a toddler with a birthday cake. Today's target? The moldy, moth-eaten myth of the male breadwinner and the female homemaker. Seriously, folks, is this still a thing? Are we still pretending it's the 1950s? Did someone forget to tell the calendar we've had like several decades of progress? This isn't just old-fashioned, it's actively messing with our happiness, our relationships, and our wallets. We're going to dissect this dinosaur of a concept, expose its ridiculousness, and give you the tools to build relationships that are actually, gasp, equal. So where did this man with the paycheck, woman with the feather duster fantasy even originate? Buckle up for a hilarious history lesson, no boring dates, I promise. Picture this. Pre-industrial revolution. Everyone's hustling. Men, women, kids, we're all economic powerhouses. Think Little House on the Prairie meets Shark Tank. Everyone's contributing. Everyone's valuable. Then, boom, industrialization hits like a rogue steam engine. Factories spring up, looking like giant metal mushrooms, and suddenly work gets yanked out of the home and into these loud, smoky places. And guess who conveniently gets assigned to the home team? Yup, the ladies. It's like a rigged game of workplace dodgeball. We get this whole public sphere, work, politics, wearing sensible trousers, for men, and the domestic sphere, home, kids wearing different trousers apparently, for women. In 19th century Britain, this really takes off, especially with the rising middle class. Why? Because skilled men's wages went up, meaning families could technically survive on one income. And conveniently, that income belonged to the dude. Cue the dramatic music and the rise of the angel in the house, the perfect self-sacrificing homemaker. And who's pushing this narrative? Oh, just everyone who benefits from free labor and a controlled population. Politicians needing votes, religious leaders needing obedient followers, even scientists with their hilariously outdated theories. We get the man-the-hunter myth, basically saying that because supposedly cavemen were the main providers, modern men should be too. As if cavemen had salary negotiations and performance reviews. They conveniently ignored the fact that cave women were likely out there hunting, gathering, and probably inventing fire, while the guys were arguing about who got the biggest mammoth steak. But here's the not-so-funny punchline. This ideal was a gilded cage. Women were trapped in economic dependence. Unhappy marriage? Too bad. Want a career? Dream on. It was a system designed to keep women in their place, which, coincidentally, was wherever the men decided it was. And men? They got to be emotionless robots who measured their worth in dollars. Sounds fun? Fast forward to today, and these ancient gender roles are still lurking around like that weird smell in your fridge you can't quite identify. They're messing with our relationships, our careers, and our sanity. Traditional roles create power imbalances faster than you can say unequal pay. We're pressured to conform to these outdated stereotypes, and the result? Resentment, frustration, and a sex life colder than a polar bear's toenails. Let's break down the carnage. First, we have communication catastrophes. Men are supposed to be stoic, unfeeling rocks, because rocks are so good at relationships. Women are supposed to be endlessly agreeable and nurturing, because doormats are so attractive. Consequently, we're speaking different emotional languages, like a cat trying to have a philosophical debate with a goldfish. In addition to that, we have division of labor lunacy. Manly chores versus womanly chores? Seriously. My washing machine doesn't have a gender preference, it just wants to clean my clothes. These stereotypes are about as useful as a chocolate teapot in a sauna. Furthermore, look at the decision-making debacles. The man of the house makes the decisions, and the woman smiles and pretends to agree? This isn't a relationship, it's a dictatorship with slightly better snacks. Resentment is brewing, folks. And finally, we arrive at the intimacy ice age. Men hiding feelings, women hiding opinions. It's a recipe for emotional frostbite. No vulnerability, no real connection, just two people playing roles in a badly written play. And on top of that, there is the double standard disaster. Men are valued for achievements and how much value they can produce, and women for their youth and preserving their beauty. But here's the kicker. Studies show that couples who ditch these archaic roles and embrace equality have better sex lives. Science just drop-kicked tradition into the dumpster. Equality equals ecstasy, people. It's practically a mathematical formula. And let's not forget the mental toll. These roles are toxic for everyone. Men are pressured to be emotionless, risk-taking providers who never ask for help, even when they're drowning in stress. Women are pressured to be perfect, selfless caregivers who prioritize everyone else's needs above their own. It's a lose-lose situation designed to make us all miserable. So why is this breadwinner homemaker model finally crumbling like a stale cookie? Because the world has changed, people. First of all, we have women in the workforce owning it. Economic necessity, feminism, the sheer desire to not be trapped at home, women are working. Dual-income households are the new normal. And during the pandemic, breadwinner moms were basically superheroes in yoga pants. Take that, 1950s. Secondly, there are welfare cuts and the get-a-job push. Governments are slashing social safety nets, forcing more people into the workforce. It's a harsh reality, but it's also inadvertently undermining traditional gender roles. Moreover, social norms are getting a much-needed makeover. Attitudes are shifting. Individual happiness and fulfillment are in. Rigid gender roles? Out. People are realizing they can define their own lives, not follow some dusty script written by dead white guys. And finally, we have educated women equal to empowered women. Women are getting degrees, building careers, and demanding equality. Economic independence is a powerful aphrodisiac for change. Basically, the old model is about as relevant to modern life as a horse-drawn carriage on a freeway. It's inefficient, outdated, and frankly, kind of embarrassing. Modern relationships are throwing out the rule book and going gloriously rogue. Flexibility, equality, and open communication are the new buzzwords. Couples are creating their own unique relationship blueprints based on what actually works for them. It's like relationship anarchy, but with more, actual functioning relationships. For instance, there are platonic partnerships, friends with sometimes no benefits, shared living, co-parenting, emotional intimacy, but no romance. It's like marriage, but with better boundaries and less arguing about who left the toilet seat up. Then you have polyamory. Love is like a pizza. The more, the merrier. Consensual, ethical non-monogamy. It's all about communication, honesty, and managing jealousy like a pro. Think of it as a relationship potluck. Everyone brings something delicious to the table. Another option is open relationships. Monogamy with a side of options. Committed to the core relationship, but open to exploring outside connections. It's like having a home base, but also getting to travel the world. And at the far end of the spectrum, we find relationship anarchy. No rules, no labels, just vibes. Okay, maybe a few rules about consent and communication. It's about radical freedom, prioritizing individual needs and rejecting all hierarchies. These are just a few examples of how people are redefining relationships. The point is, there's no one-size-fits-all model anymore. It's about finding what works for you, not what society thinks should work for you. But hold on. Even in these non-traditional relationships, gender roles can sneak in like uninvited guests at a party. Studies show that even stay-at-home dads often do less housework than stay-at-home moms. Gender roles are like glitter. They get everywhere, no matter how hard you try to clean them up. It just proves how deeply ingrained this stuff is. We have to stay vigilant. Let's talk about moms for a minute. Traditional motherhood beliefs are basically a guilt trip factory. The ideal mother is a selfless, endlessly patient, superhuman creature who never gets tired, never gets angry, and never ever needs a break. In reality, moms are human beings. Trying to live up to this impossible standard leads to burnout, resentment, and enough self-doubt to sink a battleship. It's toxic, it's unfair, and it needs to stop. Sticking to these outdated gender roles is a mental health disaster. Let's do a quick damage assessment. To start, you get emotional lockdown. Men, bottle up your feelings. Women, your emotions are secondary. Emotional suppression for everyone. Consequently, we have self-esteem sabotage. Don't fit the perfect mold, feel like a failure? That's the gender role trap working its magic. Adding to that, there's perfectionism prison. The pressure to be perfect, as a man, as a woman, as a parent, leads to chronic stress, anxiety, and a general feeling of impending doom. And to top it all off, watch out for the stigma slam. Dare to be different? Get ready for judgment, discrimination, and a whole lot of unsolicited advice from people who should really mind their own business. It's time to break free. We need to create a society where everyone can be their authentic selves without being punished for it. But how do we actually do that? It's not enough to just know this stuff is bad. We need to actively dismantle it, brick by brick. So, how do we become gender role wrecking balls? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to the subtle and not so subtle ways these stereotypes show up in your life. Do you find yourself making assumptions about people based on their gender? Do you default to certain chores based on who's supposed to do them? Do you hold yourself back from pursuing certain interests or expressing certain emotions because they don't fit the norm? Next, challenge those assumptions. If you hear someone say boys will be boys as an excuse for bad behavior, call them out. If you see a commercial portraying a dad as a bumbling idiot who can't change a diaper, write a letter to the company. If you catch yourself thinking, I shouldn't be this emotional, ambitious, assertive, stop and ask yourself, why? Where did that thought even come from? Then, practice conscious communication. In your relationships, talk openly about expectations, responsibilities, and desires. Don't assume your partner knows what you want or need. And listen to what they're saying without filtering it through a gendered lens. If your partner says they're feeling overwhelmed, don't dismiss it as just being emotional. And perhaps most importantly, model the behavior you want to see. If you're a parent, show your kids that chores aren't gendered. Show them that men can be caring and nurturing, and women can be strong and independent. Let them see you challenging stereotypes in your own life. Be the change, as they say, but make it a loud, proud, and hilarious change, because dismantling outdated norms should be fun too. All right, level up, lifers. Let's wrap this up. The myth of the male breadwinner and female homemaker, busted, debunked, and relegated to the dustbin of history. Rigid gender roles, they're limiting, harmful, and frankly, boring. It's time to embrace equality, challenge outdated norms, and build relationships in a society where everyone can thrive. Share responsibilities, support each other's dreams, communicate openly, and for the love of all that is holy, stop assuming that the person with the penis is automatically in charge. Let's create a world where everyone can level up their life, regardless of gender. Because equality isn't just a nice idea, it's the foundation for a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling future for all of us. Okay, stay awesome, level up, lifers. And remember, gender roles are like Crocs. They might be comfortable for some people, but they're generally a bad idea. Don't forget to subscribe for more Level Up Your Life goodness. We'll catch you in the next episode. Peace out.